Right then, this is a walk around video, and this is for an absolutely beautiful looking car. This is a Honda Civic 1.8 SE Tourer. It's the facelift model, first of the facelifts. It looks absolutely stunning. Finished in this gorgeous metallic blue, which is unfortunately called Sporty Blue Metallic, which is about as bad a name as I can think of, but there we are. Covered just 54,000 miles in really, really lovely condition. Front of the car, new style front end, new headlights and bumper treatment. Looks fantastic. Lights and lenses are clear, intact without any cracks or condensation. Bonnet, very, very clean on the car. Hardly a stone chip anywhere of any note. Going to come down the near side first. Passenger side, lovely and smooth in the panel work. Near side front alloy, beautiful condition. Panels, got a real gleam to them. Coming on the back of the car. I stand by it. I still think this is one of the best looking estates anywhere in the marketplace. In my opinion, it actually looks better as an estate than it does as a hatch. It's one of the few that where practicality and style actually go hand in hand. But it's lovely. Offside, again, fantastically smooth. I think I did see one, I'm going to try and pick it out, there's one minuscule little pin dent, but I'm not going to do anything about it. It's just, I mean, you can hardly even see it. Basically it's smaller than my fingernail there, but it is there, but it's of no consequence at all. Final alloy, again, absolutely lovely, and it really is in it's fantastic condition and looks sensational, this car. Coming to the back of the car now, you get absolutely enormous boot, and it is cavernous. Beautifully finished, as you'd expect of the Hondas. It really is huge back there. Coming to the back of the car, I mean, for a family estate that's now 7 or 8 years old, it's in beautiful condition back here, because most of them have been very, very heavily used. This one's got tiny amounts of wear in it, but it looks really crisp and clean in there. Coming on the passenger side, again, all very, very clean and tidy. Passenger seat, beautiful condition. Coming in the front now, driver's door card again, really clean, as the footwell areas. So inside the car now, engine's running through this section as always, so dashboard can be seen illuminated. It's in beautiful condition. Just to show you up there, hopefully you can see 54,658 miles. Information screen and radio all working perfectly. Pop the car into reverse. The lovely clear gridded parking camera, which obviously complements the front and rear parking sensors. It's in lovely condition in here. Then up to the dash, I mean, that's the view you get as a driver. Absolutely sensational, really is. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic. It's a 1.8 SE Plus, and it's the Tourer version. This particular car is registered FJ65XNZ, and with a mileage of 54,659 recorded. As I say in all videos, the reason we do them is basically just to ensure that if anyone's looking at our cars online in the adverts, they actually get to see the advertised cars in operation. The reason we feel it's important is because, as with many people, we've been to see numerous cars which have looked absolutely fine in photographs and descriptions, only to get there and find out when you drive them they've got a fundamental issue that shows up as soon as you're driving along. So that's why we do it. We also do it on these very quiet country roads in this lovely part of Gloucestershire. This actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and the reason for that is hopefully then it will be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, it's been exceptionally well looked after, this vehicle, and driving it just carries on that theme really. Turn the key, engine starts absolutely instantly and settles to a smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. and temperature gauge is running as a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. The engines are an absolute peach, they really are. Honda, as I often maintain, make the best four-cylinder engines in the world, but for all the right reasons. Not only are they incredibly reliable and long-lasting with normal servicing, but they're just lovely to use. It's sweet, quiet, refined. It pulls from low RPMs like there, unflustered, it's docile, and if you want to push it, it rewards. It's just a lovely, lovely unit. It really is. Modern age of sort of small capacity turbocharged engines, it's a real blessed relief to get into a nice normally aspirated car. Engine then feeds through into clutch and gearbox. Clutch and car, absolutely perfect. Bite point, exactly where it's meant to be. And it's lovely and smooth in operation. The gearbox, again, it's just fantastic. It's a 6-speed manual gearbox. As with most modern front-wheel drive cars, the gear lever here is connected to the gearbox underneath by cables. Unfortunately, with some manufacturers, that tends to mean you can have a horribly vague, lifeless gear change. This feels as though it's bolted straight through to a gearbox. It just feels so mechanical, almost slightly heavy in feel, but in a good way. It just feels satisfying. And Honda put a lot of effort into the kind of primary controls to make you feel as though they should all feel solid and well manufactured, and it's just beautiful to use. It's a gearbox you enjoy using rather than feel as though you actually have to use it. And it also shows zero wear, of course. It's these gearboxes are incredibly tough. So coming to the steering on the car, and the first thing you notice straight away is it's quite a dynamic car. It's very comfortable, but it's really keen to change direction. The steering sort of is the start of that. As soon as you turn into a corner, minimal movement of the steering wheel, absolutely sharp, incredibly precise and accurate. It's just a lovely power steering setup, and it works beautifully with the chassis, because not all power steering systems do. Sometimes they can be a bit too quick, a bit too slow, but it's just really nice. It's also really nicely weighted, so it makes the car feel very kind of solid and secure on the road. It also, by the way, tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at all at this speed, or any speed up to the legal limit. And then you come to the chassis itself. I mean, this corner here is a bit of a clumsy, kind of yumpy corner. You just turn in, again, hardly any movement, hardly any body roll. Flows to the corner absolutely beautifully. It really does. And not at the expense of ride comfort, because the ride is really, really well judged. It's beautifully damped. It feels, it's got a kind of a softness and a firmness all at the same time. It does, how they do it's genius. It really is. But it's a car that, I've said in many of the videos to do with Civics, and it's true. A lot of people who, may have had quite sporty cars, but then need something quite practical, maybe the start of a family, but don't want to sort of give up entirely on, having something that's enjoyable to drive. And the Civics are really popular in that respect, because you get in them and there's something sort of very engaging about the way they go, how they drive, in terms of kind of, the kind of the sporty edge. It's definitely got to it. Chassis, by the way, just going over bumps here, this is a horrible road surface. Just listening out for any rattles or clonks from under the car that shouldn't be there, and there's absolutely nothing at all. It's ridiculously solid. I'm going to give the brakes a good old shove, make sure no one's behind. But yeah, really good brake pedal again. The bite's really good. There's no pulsing, no vibrations coming back through the brake pedals, all exactly as it should be. The car will actually be going for an MOT later today or tomorrow, so all these things are going to be checked as a matter of course, but it feels, just as I said, very, very solid indeed. So coming inside the car, the build quality on these things is astonishing. It really is, and it's something that, if people who've seen lots of my videos before will know, that it's a bit of a pet hate of mine. The motoring press that, when brand new cars are handed to them, they always sort of hand out the build quality awards to the German manufacturers because they feel heavy and solid and got lots of squidgy plastics. But then you drive those cars in 5-10 years time and they can actually feel quite rattly and loose. Not all of them, I'm not pretending they are, but there's just no squeaks, no rattles, not even a hint of one. It's just so beautifully put together. And the next bit's opinion based, because I love this interior and lots of people don't, which I've always said I think that's actually a really good thing, because it's interesting design should kind of polarize opinion. But despite the fact that I think it's lovely to look at, it's also incredibly practical. It's there for a purpose, not just to look good. Dash itself, the centre stack here is the most conventional part of it. So you've got things like the information screen and the radio there. You've got the dual zone climate control system panel down here, and that pumps out absolutely ice cold air, by the way. And also the switch gear quality, like the other bits of the build, is beautifully done. It's all got a lovely sort of precise rubbery feel to it. You just know it's going to feel good in another 10-20 years time. But my favourite part of this two-tier design directly in front, and so what Honda have done is they've mounted up high the information you want to look at most readily and most commonly. So if you were to change your radio channel or fan speed, you get displays down here, but you get a much bigger one up there. But the most commonly looked at gauge, of course, in a car is your speed. And there it is, right, big digital display. I've got a car which has got heads-up display, and I much prefer this actually. It's just clearer, it just catches your eye much more easily. Genius, absolute genius. Down below that, you've got these three individual dials for your rev counter in the middle, the big one, flanked by the temperature and fuel gauges. And you've got this lovely sporty steering wheel, which feels absolutely like new to look at and to hold. It's a lovely car. There's a very, very good reason why these Tourers are sought after, and this is just a lovely example of one of them. I just can't fault it. It drives, and I hate saying it because it is a complete cliche, but it literally drives like new. It just feels so tight and so sweet. As always though, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call.